Peace, love, and abundance, soul family. It is I, your chairman, Omaka, spiritual luminary, founder of SOHL-center St. Pete, and I am here to bring you the higher self-conscious therapeutic talk today. And I am here to elevate our people so that we may rise as a nation and that we may come into a higher self-consciousness of who we are, and we may move into a life of purpose. So I want to thank you for joining, and those of you who will be joining during the talk. Today, I just want to bring you a message from Spirit, a message from higher self, God, and I want to allow you to tap in with me because we are about to break through to a lot of motivation, inspiration talk today. Today, these type of things that we are going through, and we have to understand them. Hear me out when in this video today, this live. Hear me out. I'm going to be putting myself back on the screen in a minute, but I just want you to see the topic, that the road to a better life of health. Okay? Let me know if y'all can hear me. Can y'all hear me? I just want to know if y'all can hear me. I'll go on when I know that y'all can hear me. I just want to be sure y'all can hear me. Okay, I'm being heard. I think the hearts mean I'm being heard. Does that mean I'm being heard? Okay. Once again, yes, thank you, Creative Vibrations. Once again, thank you. Thank you for joining the Higher Self-Conscious Therapy Talk tonight. Once again, I am Chairman Omaka, founder, spiritual luminary, chief spiritual luminary, and founder of SOHL-center St. Pete. And we are just basically building on this topic right here today. So, as you see, the road to a better life of health. Let me get on the screen now. What's up, everybody? Today I come to you because in the last couple of days, I would say a week even, the last week I have, let me first say this, let me first preface it. I'm a natural healer. I was sitting in the bookstore. I got to preface my topic with this. I was sitting in the bookstore. I may need to get some water. Excuse me. I was sitting in the bookstore, and I was in my favorite section, which is spiritual health and wellness, spirituality, and health and wellness and natural healings. And I was standing in that section where all those books are, and you can see I've been on a book buying rampage. What is this? Oh, it's upside down. The Future of Nutrition. I've been on a book buying rampage lately, and energy medicine. So that's a thick one. So I've been on a book buying rampage. I was in the section of those categories, and I asked myself a question. The question was, why am I here? You know, standing in front of this section of books. I asked myself the question, why am I here? And I reversed the question. I didn't ask, why am I here? I turned it around and said, I am here. Why? This is what I asked myself. I am here. Why? You see, the difference between the questions you ask, why am I here, is to imply you have no business being there. But when you turn the question around and you say, I am here, why? Now it implies you find a solution. And so as I was asking the question, I am here why, I searched for the solution within myself, and the solution simply was that I this is who I am. This is who I am. I'm a natural healer. And so when I said that, I asked the question, I am here why, and I came up with the answer, because I'm a natural healer. And I said, well, what is a natural healer? And I came out with this energy. A natural healer is someone, basically the book definition of it. The book definition. Someone who heals someone naturally. Now, we don't use pharmaceuticals. We don't use, chemical-based products. We look for the natural way to heal. And so the topic of tonight, I'm going to have to get up and get some water. I'm trying my best to stay in the camera. The topic of tonight is the road to your best life of health. And when you start to change questions around, now the energy within you is going to imply that you look for the solution. And one thing you'll notice is that the solution is always within you. So this is what I found. The solution to the question I was asking was in me. And there's different forms of healers. I would more so say I'm a spiritual healer. I would say that I'm a spiritual healer. I even had to look this up to be sure, even though I already know that this is something that exists. But I had to look it up. I had to actually look this up to make sure that I was not only confident in what I was saying, but I was being accurate with what I was saying. And I was asking, what kind of healer am I? And I said, well, I'm a spiritual healer. So what's a spiritual healer? A spiritual healer is someone who helps someone look for the answers. That's why I always say, I can't heal you, only you can heal you. Because you have to put in the work. You have to dive deep. You have to dig in. And the spiritual healer is someone who look for those answers within, who helps that person tap in. And what is the major problem that we have on the surface of our lives today is looking outside of ourselves, seeing other people do something great, seeing other people do something well, seeing other people live their best life. All right, I got to get some water. I'm sorry, because I keep... Give me a second. Okay. Good. So a spiritual healer, back to the topic at hand. A spiritual healer is someone who helps a person, a being, someone look within on a mental, emotional, physiological, biological level. The 5 laws that I preach, I practice, I teach, I educate is the 5 laws of holistics. Some people may say pillars. Some people may say tenets. Some people may say statues. Some people may say principles. But I call these 5 laws. Why do I call them laws? Because I know that these laws, having done many retreats, having led people on retreats, having done the work myself, I know that these laws work. And as a spiritual healer looking for those answers, I started to go within to create those laws. The 5 laws, and every time I come on live, you're going to see me come on live, and I'm going to always give you the 5 laws. Just understand that you may know them, you may hear me say them, but I'm going to continuously give them to you every single time. Okay? So, let's just pull them up real quick. You may not be able to see it all. You may not be able to see all the laws, right? You may not be able to read, but let's go into, okay, it may not come in clear. But anyhow, These 5 laws, this is just one of them. If it comes in clear, I don't know if it's going to come in clear. I might have to just take it off and just tell you it. But, all right. Long story short, let me not do that. Let me get out. Long story short, the 5 laws are meditation, fitness, nature, nutrition, and arts. Now, the road to your best life of health is dependent and contingent upon, hear me out, it's contingent upon what you practice. So in the last week, I've had friends. I call them friends because these are people who check in on me and we meet and we have real life conversations. And to them, I am their healer. I am their, I help them heal through our conversations and helping them see things deeper than the surface. So I met with a lot of my friends, and these are not clients. These are friends. And I met with a lot of my friends, and they, you know, opened up to me. And in the past week of me talking to them, they opened up sharing their life. How I heal is always based upon the structures that I live. It's going to come from that space. And a lot of people live on the surface. A spiritual healer is what? If we're in class right now. A spiritual healer is one who helps a person see within on a mental, emotional, physiological, biological level. So we help people see within the solutions and the answers within. Now, this is so key. Most times people struggle. Most people's struggle come from them looking outwardly. Most people's struggles come from them seeing their situation and their circumstances as something that is out of their control. And the frustration comes in. The frustration happens because you don't believe that the answer is within. Remember what I said when I was standing at the bookstore and I was in my favorite section and I asked myself the question, why am I here? It was almost to imply I don't belong in this area. But when I turned the question around, I am here. Why? Now I'm looking within for the answer because their answer is nowhere else. So I'm looking within for that answer. So I find that answer. I am here. Why? Oh, because this is who I am. I teach on this. I speak about this. I help people find solutions regarding healing. You understand? And so now I'm helping people see within on a spiritual, mental, emotional level, on a physiological, biological level. Now I'm helping people dig within. And the source of all sickness and disease, the source of all sickness and disease is our own thinking. Is our own thinking. And you may say, well, I got cancer. I didn't do nothing. I didn't ask for cancer. I didn't ask for diabetes. I didn't ask for glaucoma. I didn't ask for high blood pressure. I didn't ask for depression. I didn't ask for this stuff. But on the contrary, you didn't ask the right question. See, on the contrary, you didn't ask the question. And the question is not, why is this happening to me? The question is, this is happening to me. Why? Let me put the flyer back up for some of you because y'all need to see it. The road to a better life of health. The question is, cancer is happening to me. Why? Oh my God. This gives you the power, beloved. This puts the power back in your hands. That's why I say, I'm not your healer. You are your own healer. Because I'm going to show you how to go within, and then you receive the answers for the questions you ask. But the question isn't, why is this happening to me? It's, this is happening to me. Why? And now you're going to push through. Now you're going to find a solution. Now you're going to be able to come out of, oh, this is happening to me to be a lesson for those who, a test of strength. This is happening to me as a test of faith. This is happening to me as a test of will. This is happening to me as a test of character. This is happening to me as a test of ability. This is happening to me as a test of self-empowerment. This is happening to me as a test of inspiration. This is happening to me for me to stand up within myself, for me to stand up inside myself, for me to believe and say that I have the power, that I have the strength, I have the will. And you have to believe that first, because the source of all sickness and disease comes from your own thinking. So you have to believe and say and stand up within yourself and say, this is not going to get me. This is a fight, but it's not going to beat me. This is a fight, but it's not going to beat me down. It's a fight, but it's not going to leave me broken. This is a fight. And in any fight you look to go into, you look to come out victorious. Everything is a fight for territory. As I believe Norman Vincent Peale said that in the book Power of Positive Thinking. Everything is a fight for territory. You see, disease comes into your life to fight for the right to exist. Disease come into your life. Stress come into your life. Broken people who are dealing with trauma that come and attach themselves to you. They all come into your life as a fight for territory. Why? Because people have not, this is good. Because people have not taken up residence within themselves. You see? People have not taken up residence. And so what's happening is I got a PowerPoint on this. I did a long time ago, about 7 years ago. I did a PowerPoint on this called the eviction notice. And the eviction notice is, I wish I had it on my phone. I would share it with you. The eviction, I still got it on my hard drive though. The eviction notice that you must say to yourself, you must allow these things that's coming in to take a residence. You must say, nuh-uh, not here. You don't have a home here. You don't belong here. You're wrong for me. You're not right for me. And so everything is a fight for territory. Disease and sickness is fighting to belong. Disease and sickness is fighting for a place to exist. Disease and sickness is fighting for a right to thrive. And who is it thriving on? Who is giving it residency? You, your own mind, your own thinking. You are the one giving it residency. You are the one not asking the right question. You are the one saying, why is this happening to me? But you must turn it around and say, this is happening to me. Why? And once you do that, you already become victorious. You become victorious simply by asking that question, because now that disease, which actually has a consciousness of its own, because it grows within you, the more you sit and dwell in it, the more it's going to metastasize, the more it's going to grow, the more it's going to become malignant, and it's going to become a tumor, which thus takes over the whole body, and thus it hides you. It takes a tumor takes over the brain. A tumor takes over the brain, and thus the brain no longer exists anymore. It's like a fungus. You understand what I'm saying? It becomes a fungus that takes over. It's a living bacteria. And so just like I was sharing with somebody what pneumonia is, bronchitis is, I won't call her my stepmom. I will call her the lady there's a lady that came into my life around 18 years old, and she became like a mother to me. And she transitioned 5 years ago, I would say 4 years ago. She transitioned from pneumonia. She died of pneumonia. But what is pneumonia? And I'm here to help you out, okay? So she was a chain smoker, smoked cigarettes like crazy, okay? And she developed bronchitis from it. Now bronchitis goes into the lungs, up the esophageal tube, or the esophagus, into the throat, and then you start to lose your voice. That's why you see people that smoke, they lose their voice. That's the first sign of bronchitis, when you start to hear people lose their voice or have no voice. Smokers end up having no voice, because bronchitis becomes a disease that takes over, that goes into the lung, a bacteria that goes into the lung. And then it starts to take over your breathing, your respiratory system. It starts to take over your speaking ability, because your respiratory system, your lungs, is in your breath. When you're taking in your breath through the nose, you're breathing through the mouth. It's coming from the lungs up the esophagus. Now, when she died, She died from pneumonia. Pneumonia is just basically the bronchitis becoming malignant, metastasizing into pneumonia, what we call pneumonia. So that's what bronchitis does. Once bronchitis gets in the body, when somebody goes into the hospital, because their body goes into prophylactic shock, that's when pneumonia happens. Pneumonia happened to her because bronchitis had become malignant. It grew and grew and grew till it became basically a disease that overtook her lungs. And once that overtakes your lungs, pneumonia happens. Once your lungs are no longer able to breathe on their own, pneumonia happens. And so you go on to a ventilator, and basically a ventilator ain't nothing but pumping oxygen inside your lungs. You're really dead. A ventilator is just pumping oxygen inside of your lungs, keeping your body alive, but you're really dead. You understand? And so when you get the pneumonia, it takes over the lung system, the respiratory system. You no longer can breathe at all. Bronchitis grew, became pneumonia, saturated your lungs. It's like, I was telling someone, it's like mold on the bread. You ever see your bread with a spot of mold on it and go back a day later, the whole loaf of bread is molded? That's what happens with pneumonia. You see a speck of mold on your lungs, bronchitis, and then next thing you know, a day later, your whole lungs is taken over by mold. That's pneumonia, okay? And that's what it looks like. It's a living, crawling bacteria in a living disease. And so what is happening on the surface level to a lot of people is they have not found a structural system to operate within life. A lot of people wake up and just go about their day. A lot of people just wake up and let me tell you something. That's a form of a disease. Because you are allowing things to just take residence in your life. You're allowing things to just take over you. Just go where you want. Just you don't have no direction. You're just going. You don't know where you're going. You don't have no guide. You wake up and you just go. And you don't have a structured system. That's what keeps you operating. Do you know that there's a study? And I can tell you this from experience. I'll give you the one from experience. I won't even give you the story, the study. I was working, I used to work for a steel company. And there was this old man there, like 89 years old, still working, humped over, humping his back. And he used to look like this. He couldn't stand up straight. He couldn't swivel his head. He was 89 years old, slumped over like this. That's how he walked, slumped over like this. And he moved his head like this to talk to you. Because that's how his posture was permanently. 89 years old, right? 80-something years old. And we all used to ask him. I even asked him the question. I said, man, why won't you retire? You know what he told me? He said, because if I retire, I'll die. If I retire, I'll die. Why? Because he will lose his sense of purpose. And a lot of you literally are like him on the opposite end of the spectrum. He's staying alive because he believed working in the steel company was his purpose. That was keeping him alive. That was keeping him alive. A lot of you are literally, Les Brown said, a lot of you are just, Les Brown used to say that a lot of people are dead. They just haven't been buried yet. A lot of people are dead, but have not been buried yet. You just haven't been buried yet. And a lot of you're looking through the lens on the surface and you're really dead. You're really dead because you don't get up and you don't have an order to your day. And that's why I said the road to a life of health. That's why this is called a road to the life of health. A road to the life of health is you got to get up every single day and understand your sense of purpose and go to doing that, working on that, working toward that. A lot of you are dealing with disease, which I call depression. A lot of you are dealing with stress and anxiety a lot because you're weary about the future. You're worried about what's going to happen. But you can maintain that. You can control that simply by not looking for it to happen to you, but you to happen to it. See, when you're allowing things to happen to you, that thing that you're allowing to happen to you has taken up residence, because depression is just looking for a home. Anxiety is looking for a home. Disease like diabetes is looking for a home. Why? Because these things exist. Diabetes exists. Cancer exists. And they're looking for a host. They're looking for someone to be housed, to be their home. And even you who are dealing with this stuff, you can turn it around. You know, literally turn it around and begin to evict it from your life by asking the right question. This is happening to me. Why? Then you become empowered by the why. You become empowered. Now your spirit, you're on a physiological and biological level. That's why I preach about the 5 laws of holistics, because they speak to the 5 internal states of well-being. 5 laws, 5 states of well-being. The 5 laws: meditation, fitness, nature, nutrition, arts. 5 states of well-being: spiritual, mental, emotional, physiological, biological. Okay? And so when you are evicting these things that want to look for a place to take up residence, when you are asking the right question, this is happening to me, why? On a physiological level, your body begins to respond. On a biological level, your cells begin to respond. Your cells begin to respond to, oh shit, he's waking up. Oh shit, she's waking up. And on a biological level, when you respond, you understand? When you respond on a biological level, go get my book on Amazon called Going Beyond Belief. I got a book on Amazon called Going Beyond Belief. And in that book, at the end of that book, there's a pyramid where I talk about these phases of basically the pyramid of success, the pyramid of living successfully, not material wealth, but a life of taking back control. Okay? And in this pyramid, you're going to go through the phases, and on one of those phases is the physiological phase and a biological phase. And when you read the biological part or the physiological part, you will begin to awaken, because of the information that you're taking in is awakening you on a physiological, biological level. Now your body begins to respond, and you begin to take back the power, and you begin to take control, and you begin to take up residence in your own life, and you begin to manifest on a holistic level good entering in your life. A lot of people come to me not because I'm the greatest healer of them all, not because I'm the best healer in the world, not because I'm the master of all master healers. A lot of people come to me, and I mean a lot. A lot of people come to me because they see a sound mind. They see a sound mind within me. With all that I do, with all that I give to, with all that I live for, I still have a sound mind. And a sound mind is a mind that allows things to come its way without internalizing it. So depression may come my way, but I face it. I don't internalize it. Stress may come my way, but I face it. I don't internalize it. I look at it and I address it, and it knows that it has no home here. Why? Because my sound mind allows me to revert back to the order and structure in which I practice. The 5 laws. So it allows me to live free of stress. Do I get frustrated? Yes. Do I get angry? Yes. Do I get, do I become fearful of things? I would have to answer that truthfully. No, I don't. Because I know fear is what? Fear is false evidence appearing real. It's false evidence appearing real. It's not the truth. And so I face it. Fear I face. depression comes, I face it. And so you have to take up residence in yourself and ask the right question. This is coming to me. Why? And you begin to empower yourself. And when you empower yourself, now you can see what they call clairvoyant. Now you become clairvoyant. Now you can see in and around you who it is that is not good, who it is that is toxic, who it is that is not there to serve you. Now you may say, why must I serve you? Because, beloved, it's not about you serving me. It's about you coming to me for something you need. That's you serving me, but it's you really serving yourself. That's what you need to look at as that why solution. This is happening to me. Why? And don't be afraid to go get answers. Don't be afraid to seek out instructions. Don't be afraid to go get information. Don't be afraid to get that assistance. Don't be afraid to get that knowledge, because information. What did I always quote Les Brown because he's my favorite speaker on the planet. And Les Brown say, if information could change people, we all be skinny, rich, and happy. If information could change people, we all be skinny, rich, and happy. But we're not. You understand what I'm saying? And so information is not going to change you. Information is not going to change you. Applied information is going to change you. Applied information is going to change you. That's why when you ask the question, this is happening to me, why? Now, applying what's in. What's in becomes implied. Implied and applied. What's within becomes implied and applied. You're applying the solution. You're applying the answer. You're finally now getting it from within out now. You're finally getting it from within. Now you're getting the truth. Now you're getting answers. Now you're getting to the root of solving all of your problems. This is happening to me. Why? And you're not looking on an outside level anymore, because most of the people that look on the outside level are going to find many people's truths. Let me explain. You are going to be looking for answers, and you'll see your friend over there doing it, and you'll say, oh, he must be doing it right, so let me do it their way. And then you realize, wait a minute, his way don't apply to me. His way doesn't, I can't apply to myself his way. And you may see somebody in the distance doing it. You may say, ooh, I like the way they're doing it, let me do it their way. And you realize their system of way of doing it doesn't apply to you. It doesn't apply. You can't apply it. Why? Because first of all, you're not coming from within. You're coming from outward. You're coming from the outer source, trying to get it in. And what's out doesn't apply, beloved. What's out doesn't apply. We can apply topical creams to our. We can apply topical creams to skin issues. We can apply, beloved. You see me? I don't have no oil on my face, and I promise you. But every time I look at myself, I say, damn, you oily. But I don't have no oil on my face. I don't have no coconut oil. I don't have no avocado oil, no aloe vera oil. I don't have any of that on me right now. But you can see my skin is rejuvenated. This is a visual image of rejuvenation. What does that mean, beloved? On a physiological and a biological level, you're looking at a rejuvenated body. That means to be rejuvenated, it means that your cells are constantly renewed, are getting nourished. Your cells on a biological level are constantly getting nourished. Your thinking is constantly being renewed. Be ye transformed by the renewal of your mind. And so when one lives in a sense of renewal, when one lives in a sense of a renewed state of mind, one is thus applying not the cream on top, but the cream from within, the oil from within the body. And so what happens is, literally, when you see me with a sound mind, and you see my face looking like this, what you're seeing is the toxins, or what you're witnessing is the toxins within me being excreted outside of me. And toxins left within the body is only going to toxify the body. Toxins left within the body is only going to make the body toxic. Toxins within the body is only going to make the body toxic. So, but how do you get rid of the toxins in the body? Nature, nutrition, meditation, fitness, arts, the 5 laws. These are the ways that I get rid of toxin within my body. So my friends come to me, people come to me, clients come to me to get what? A renewed sense of self. Because they can look at me and say, damn, he got a lot going on, and yet he has a sound mind. And then the rejuvenation, the image and the visual image of my skin on my face, my skin, is constantly renewing me on the outward level, on the outside. How so? Simply because of the laws that I practice. I don't allow nothing to take residence. I don't have room within me for anything to take residence. The only room I have within me, the only thing that is in me is the 5 laws of holistics that I practice. And because I believe, I live in that. Literally, I live in it. Guess what? It's always constantly healing me. It's always constantly renewing me. And so you see the excretion of toxics leaving my body, thus leaving me with a renewed or a rejuvenated looking self. That's an indication of the cells. That's an indication of the biology. That's an indication of the biology. That's an indication of the physiology. That's an indication that the body is being nourished and fed well through the mind, through the spirit, through the emotional state. Beloved, the only way to get on the path to a road, get on the road to a life of health, is not going to come from looking outside, not going to come from looking at others. It's going to come from, and it's not even going to come from you looking in the mirror. It's literally going to come from you looking within. And stop looking in the mirror and looking at things on your face saying, what's wrong with me? Why is this happening to me? Why am I breaking out? Why am I breaking out? Oh, maybe I asked it this way. I'm breaking out. Why? Oh, I'm eating the wrong stuff. I'm drinking the wrong stuff. I'm not nourishing my body. That's why. And if you're not nourishing your body right, properly, beloved, it's going to show. It's going to show. It's going to show in weight. It's going to show on the face. It's going to show in the body. It's going to show on the outward. So you have to go to inside yourself. You got to go with inside yourself and look for the answer there, because it's there. The healing is perpetrated. The healing is perpetrated by you. The sickness is perpetrated by you, not someone else. Not someone else, not no doctor, not no CDC. I tell people this. I say, you're going to be healed by through the CDC, and the CDC, the Center of Disease Control. No, commitment, discipline, and courage. Not the Center of Disease Control, but commitment, discipline, and courage. It's going to take courage. It's going to take discipline. It's going to take commitment to believing in self. So when you see me, you see you see me. You see all that I am naturally. Nothing made up about me on the outer appearance. You understand? Do I use coconut oils and stuff? Yes, I do. But what I'm saying is, I look like this almost every day. I look like this all the time. I look like I got a pound of oil on my face when I don't. but it's a testament to what has taken residence up within me. What has taken residence up within me is what I preach, but more so what I live by. I live by the 5 laws, and those laws are me. They are encoded in my DNA. And therefore, guess what? Disease, depression, sickness, and anxiety, and anything that don't belong to me can't enter the body. It cannot enter me. Why? Because the belief of what is taking residence up within me. And so those things face me, and they know they have no home with me. Those things face me, and they know they have no home here with me. They have no home here with me. So they don't enter. They can't enter. There's no way to enter because I have a barrier built up within me. I have a barrier built within me that keeps depression and anxiety at bay. Do I get frustrated? Yes, I do get frustrated. Do I get angry? Yes, I do get angry. But I don't allow it to fester. I move on quick. I move on like in seconds. I move on in seconds because I understand. Not even understanding, but because naturally, innately is nature within. My nature within me always falls back into the 5 laws. Even when I don't try, I don't have to try. They just fall back into that state. Because my purpose and the way I operate from my purpose, living as a spiritual healer, the way I operate from that space, you can't take from me. And no one can take from you the space in which you operate within. You have to be the authoritarian over your own mind, the governor of your mind. You have to govern your thoughts, govern your ways, govern yourself, govern your actions, govern your commitment, your discipline, and your courage to healing yourself. And I keep a healthy look about me, not because this is genetics, but this is because of every day going to innately falling back on the laws. Again, some people may say pillars, some people may say statues, but going back to the laws. The laws, and I call them laws for a reason, because this is what to me constitutes health. This is what constitutes health. What constitutes health for me is having a sound structure. Not just waking up every day and you just go out about life and you don't know where you're going. You just going. You don't know what you're doing. You just doing. You don't know. You're not intentional. You're not intentional about it. You got to be intentional about it. You got to be intentional about every single thing you do. You got to be intentional about every single thing you say. You got to be intentional about every single thing you watch. You got to be intentional about your life. You have to be intentional about everything that you're taking in. Because what you take in, beloved, you're putting that back out. You're going to put that back out. You understand? And now what you did was you created a environmental space, a greenhouse, sort of say, or I won't say a greenhouse. You've created a bubble that you live in. And that bubble you live in is either feeding you or it's killing you. And listen to me. What you feed lives. What you feed lives. Quote that. What you feed lives. If you feed negative thinking, it's going to live. If you feed self-destruction, self-sabotage, it's going to live. If you feed depression with more depressing pills, They call them antidepressants. But the fact of the matter is this. They tell you, you may be suffering from suicidal thinking, and then they'll tell you to take these pills, and the side effect of those pills are suicide. So how can that help you? How can something that causes suicidal thinking, how can it help you, relieve you of suicidal thinking and depression? Do you get the can you follow that? Help me understand that. Make it make sense, right? How can these things that they give you and tell you to take that have all these side effects, how can they help you? Your only true help in life, beloved, is nature. Your only true help in life, beloved, is nutrition. Your only true help in life, beloved, is fitness. Remember, fitness is exercising your truth and lifting up your voice. The only true help you have, beloved, is going within through meditation. This is the true help. Arts, expressing your creative talents, expressing your creative skills, expressing your creative abilities. Through the arts, you are expressing what's in, getting it out. Beloved, that's what keeps you young. That's what keeps you rejuvenated. That's what keeps you healthy. That's what keeps you whole. That's what keeps you sane. That's what keeps you complete in yourself. That's what keeps you one with yourself. That's what keeps you whole. Beloved, what keeps you sane, what keeps you whole is a sound mind and a committed, disciplinarian courage to being well. Are you being combative with yourself? This ain't gonna work. How you know? How you know it's not gonna work? Why are you criticizing something before you tried it? Why are you criticizing something before you put it into action, implemented it, and applied it to your life? Why are you criticizing something that you believe ain't gonna work? And where's that belief coming from? It's coming from within you. That belief is coming from within. That belief is coming from yourself. That's why you got to practice the first law of holistic is meditation. Because meditation simultaneously creates your spirituality, your spirit health, which creates your belief. From spirituality, through meditation, do you gain your belief, which becomes your spirituality. What you believe becomes your spirituality. I'm going to say that again. What you believe becomes your spirituality. And whatever is your spirituality, whatever becomes your spirituality, beloved, becomes the thing that governs your life. It becomes the thing that has authority in your life. It becomes the thing that takes over and has control in your life. Because my spirituality is my 5 laws that I practice and I teach and educate on. It's my spirituality, it's my belief. That's my spirituality. My 5 laws are my spirituality. And so I wake up every single day and I look to one of those things, if not all, but I look to one. How am I staying engaged in this? That's why courage, when I say CDC, you got to have CDC, not Center for Disease Control, but courage, but commitment, discipline, and courage. Courage, discipline, commitment. You got to have courage, discipline, and commitment. And so your mind is going to receive that as the solution. This person is not going to give up. This person is not going to quit. This person is not going to subside. This person is not going to throw in the towel. This person is just not going to let it go. This person is fighting. Yes. And when you are fighting for your right to exist, what did I say? What you feed lives. When you are fighting for your right to exist, you are feeding life in it of itself. I'm going to say it again. When you are fighting for your right to exist, you are feeding life in it of itself. You are feeding life itself when you are fighting for your right to exist. Now, when you fight for your right to exist, you don't have to fight the government. You don't have to go out and protest. You don't have to fight the system. No, you have to fight what is trying to take residence up in your mind every single day. You have to fight staying in tune to the practices you believe, to the things that you bought into. You have to stay in tune with that, so that the things that is trying to take residence have no room. There's no vacancy. There's no vacancy. It cannot take up residence. It cannot live there. There's no vacancy here. There's no vacancy. There's no vacancy. And once you take up residence within yourself, once you feed life in and of itself, once you fight for your right to exist, you're feeding life in and of itself. When you do that, beloved, you keep depression at bay. You keep anxiety, stress, worry about the future. You keep those things at bay. You keep them in front of you, not inside of you. You keep them in front of you because they're always going to follow you around. They're going to follow you around, waiting for the moment for you to quit, waiting on the moment for you to give up, waiting on the moment for you to die down in your spirit, not die physically, but die in your spirit, waiting on the moment for you to say, I've had enough. And the moment you start to speak that language, the moment you start to do that, that's the moment when you said, why is this happening to me? Not, this is happening to me. Why? And when you say, why is this happening to me? That's all those things need for the door to open to take up residence. Now you've opened the door, you've opened the gate, you opened the portal for those things to come into your mind, take up residence. And now once you get them in, you got to fight not to live now. You got to fight to evict those things. And then can you fight to exist? You got to fight to live now. You got to fight to evict those things first before you can fight for your right to exist. But when you get up every single day, you got to structure life. You got place in order with your life, meaning you know where you're going and you have order to how you're going to get there. When you do that, beloved, those things cannot take up residence. Those things cannot come in. Those things cannot find you. They won't find you. There's no possible way that they can find you. Why? Because there's no vacancy. There's no door open for them to enter. There's no door for them to enter. They can't enter through the door because you've not opened the door for them. But when you say, why is it happening to me? You open the door to them. But when you say, this is happening to me, why? You start the eviction process. You start to say, oh, these things got to go. And again, on a physiological, biological level, inside yourself, it begins to say, oh, shit, he's waking up. Oh, shit, she's waking up. We got to do something before he goes and start eating right. We got to do something before he starts thinking right. We got to do something before, hurry up, let's do something. Let's cause a, beloved, everything that you see on the surface is trying to take residence on your mind, meaning you're looking at other people live their best life and you think that that's the life you want to live. And then you go and try and live that and you realize, damn, that's not for me. And then guess what? You set yourself back further. You took another 4 or 5 steps backwards because you tried to live a life somebody else is living and that's not yours. That's not yours. That's not your life. And so when you realize, oh, that ain't gonna work for me. That's why people come to me. People be coming in my inbox. People be like, yo, have you heard? You've all had it happen to you. Have you heard of this new way to get $2,000? Have you heard of this? Have you heard of that? I've had people even come to me personally and be like, yo, have you heard of the new cryptocurrency, this and that, and the third? How to do? I'll be like, look, that's all fine and well. If that's making you money, keep at it. But that's not. I'm not here for that because that's not here for me. I'm gonna say it again. I'm not here for that because that's not here for me. That's here for you. What's here for me is what I live, what I teach, what I do. That's here for me, and I'm here for that. And if I start diving into other things outside of that, I start to deplete myself of what I came here to do. Thus, I start to fall short on my commitment, my disciplines, and my courage to keep going in this. I don't care if it's not making me $2,000 like this cryptocurrency can make you. I don't care if it's not bringing in the income fast as that business over there is doing for you. I don't care. If I begin to remove the knowledge and the teaching of what I teach, if I begin to remove it from my life or put it to the side, only to go over there and engage in what we call a lucrative opportunity, then, beloved, I am not nourishing my soul. I'm not nourishing why I'm here. I'm not nourishing my purpose. I'm not nourishing what I came to do as a healer. I'm not nourishing that. That then begins to die. Why? Because on a metaphorical level, what I just did was I've allowed this lucrative opportunity that's not here for me. I've allowed that lucrative opportunity to become my new dis-ease. You heard what I said? I said I allowed that lucrative opportunity to become my new dis-ease. How so? How is that a disease to you? Because, beloved, it's taking residence within me, and all it's going to do is cause me to doubt myself, cause me to think about things I'm not here to do and things I'm here to do. It's going to cause me to have negative thinking. It's going to cause me to not believe in myself. It's going to cause me to second guess myself. It's going to cause me to have to ask the questions, what am I here to do? Beloved, so many people put themselves in that place. Why am I here? So many people put themselves in that place asking, why are they here? Because they don't know. Simple. They simply don't know. Why? Because most of the time, you've done so many things. You've done so many things, you don't even know why you're here. You've not honed in on one thing. And it's okay to be a jack of all trades, right? But I'm gonna rephrase that. It's not about being a jack of all trades. It's not about being a jack of all trades, because I do many things in the healing space, but I don't go outside the healing space. As I mentioned before on live here, I do podcasts, I do speaking, I do cooking, chef. I'm a chef. I do retreats. I write books. I'm in the fashion where I create the shirts. Well, I'm gonna say I'm in the fashion, but I put my message on the shirt. My brand is on shirts. You understand? So what that means is, beloved, when you are looking at all those areas I'm engaged with, it doesn't take me away from the work that I'm called to. I'm called to heal. I'm called to heal. And it don't take me outside of that. It doesn't take me away from my healing work. When I'm cooking, I'm healing someone on a nutritional level. When I'm doing retreats, I'm healing someone on a meditative, on a natural, on a naturistic level. When I'm speaking, I'm expressing my creative, artistic side of me, healing people in the power of in the power and belief of themselves, that they have the ability to do the same things I'm doing, or do even better than what I'm doing, do greater things. Do greater things. Like Jesus said, ye will do greater works. You will do greater works than I. It's not about doing what I do. It's about doing what you do, but doing that as your life existence, because your life depends on it. This is how you show up and exist in the world. And we all want the opportunity. We all want the opportunity to make a lot of money. We all want the opportunity to live our best life. But I'm here. The real reason why I'm here with this message, to create a path, to create the road to a life of health. The real reason why I'm here with this message, beloved, is to share with you this, that money, we all heard the saying, money is not going to buy you happiness. You know what I'm saying? But They say money can't buy you happiness, but everybody wants to find out for themselves. That's a quote from Les Brown. Again, another Les Brown quote. Money can't buy you happiness, but everybody wants to find out for themselves. Everybody want to know. You know what I'm saying? Money doesn't buy happiness. And I'm telling you this, I'm sharing this live. I'm doing this live for a reason. The real purpose of this live is this. Beloved, as I began to come up in the speaking industry, if you know me, you've been in my office, you see speaking awards around my office. I have speaking awards. I have multiple speaking awards, trophies and awards around my office for speaking. I was a master and still am a master at speaking, communicating. I'm a master at communication. I've mastered the art of communicating. I got awards in my office for mastering the art of communication. And as I was coming up as a speaker, a communicator, empowering, inspiring, motivating people to live their best life, money was pouring in, and it was coming in fast, and it was coming in at bigger numbers. And I all of a sudden had a self-realization. I said, no, that's not why I'm here. Yes, I'm here to speak and teach through that. I teach through my speaking. I speak, and when I speak, I teach. I always tell people, anytime I open my mouth, I'm teaching. I don't care if I'm telling a joke, like Muji, like the guru Muji said. Even when I'm telling a joke, I'm saying something. I'm teaching. It's educational. I don't care if I'm telling a joke. It's an educational joke. You understand? Dave Chappelle is a master of this. When he tells jokes, it's real. It's real. It's educational. It's to open your mind. You know what I'm saying? As I was coming up in the speaking world, seeing myself travel, seeing myself have doors open to me, opportunities come, I'm here to tell you through experience that money wasn't the answer for me. The money was coming. The tours was booked. I was booked. I was beloved. I was speaking 2014 to 2014 to 2017. For those 4 years, what's that, 3 years? Yeah, so about 3 years. For those 3 years, beloved, I was speaking every day, and sometimes 3 times a day. Sometimes I remember ziplining from school to school to school to speak. I remember ziplining from different schools a day. I was speaking at 3-4 schools a day, literally getting booked like crazy to speak at a school, everywhere and anywhere. And money was coming. My books was selling. That's where I sold a lot of my books at, was through the school system. My books was selling. Hundreds of students got my books. And as I was coming up in that space, beloved, I'm here to tell you, as I was coming up in the speaking industry, I learned that it wasn't the money that was doing it for me. The money actually made me see that I was doing it for the wrong reason. I wasn't really doing it from my heart. My story is my story, but I wasn't trying to come up in the speaking industry because that was my passion. Speaking is my passion now. Speaking is my passion, but healing is my purpose. There's a difference. Speaking is my passion, but healing is my purpose. And I realized that when I was speaking and I was passionate about it and I was doing and delivering speeches passionately, I was doing it to become the best speaker, not to become the best helper. One who can help someone have a breakthrough. As my book talk about, breaking out. The title of my book, Breaking Out. It wasn't to help someone have a breakout, to break out from the situation. when I moved from my passion and I went into my purpose became my passion. Guess what now? Now the speaking industry opens back up to me again in a different way now. Remember the question, why am I here versus I am here, why? And when I had asked myself that, I am here, why? Oh, to live this purpose, help people heal. Now the speaking industry, instead of me speaking to be the best inspirational, motivational, try to be the #1 motivational speaker, instead of me speaking, trying to be the best speaker in the world, instead of me speaking, trying to be the best orator, instead of me speaking, just trying to be seen as a speaker, instead of me speaking, trying to be seen as a speaker, I moved from speaking into purpose, from passion, and I moved into purpose. I moved into healing. I moved into helping people heal. I moved into my purpose. Now I have a purpose inside speaking, which is now my purpose is now my passion when I speak. So when I get up and speak, I speak passionately about my purpose. I didn't have a purpose when I was just speaking. I had a passion. I had a passion. I did not have a purpose when I was just traveling the country speaking. I didn't have a purpose when I was traveling, speaking the country. I had a passion. I was just passionate about speaking. I wanted to inspire millions. I wanted to inspire little boys and little girls. And I just wanted to get out there and be seen. And it was all for the wrong reason. Because I just wanted to be seen as the best speaker. I wanted to be touted as the best speaker. I wanted to win more speaking awards. I wanted to be seen as someone they can call on to speak. Beloved, guess what? People was booking me, paying me to speak, but I was a robot. I was a robot. I was sharing my testimony, but that was all I had. And your story is, if you don't got nothing else, your story is all you need. Your testimony is all you need. All I had was my story. But I was like, that's it? There's more. Yes, people want to hear your story. But they don't just want to hear, and this is what I was doing. I was telling my story, but I wasn't doing nothing else after that. I was just inspiring people that they can go on and be successful because we all got a story, and using your story can help you become successful. But what happens when somebody comes to you and they need help healing? You think they want to hear your story? What happens when somebody is looking up to you and they need help having a breakthrough? You think they want to hear your story? They're in the midst of their story going through something and they need help going through. You think they want to hear your story? That's why I left the speaking industry. That's why I left speaking, because my story wasn't truly helping no one but myself. Now, when I moved from my passion to my purpose became and is now my passion. And now that that's my passion, I share how to live a healthy life. And when I say healthy, I don't mean eat well, exercise. I mean a holistic life. I mean spiritually healthy, mentally, physiologically, emotionally, spiritually, biologically. When I speak from my purpose, I'm passionate about it. And I'm passionate about my company SOHL-center, because my company SOHL-center is a holistic self-care business. It's a holistic self-care center. And I'm passionate about it. And I tell anybody that nothing's going to get in the way of that. Nothing will get in the way of my purpose. I will not let anything get in the way of that. I won't let no one, and I won't even let myself stop me. That's why you got to have CDC. Not Center for Disease Control, but commitment, discipline, and courage. And guess what's happening right now, beloved? I can come to you and speak what I'm passionate about. Elevate your mind, elevate your consciousness, expand your horizon, expand your vision of yourself, see more than what you were capable of. I can help you do more on that level now. and still interweave my story, my personal story in there, but I don't have to use my personal story if I don't want to. So your story is powerful. By itself, it's powerful. But if that's all you got in your tool belt, you're going to lose the fight. You're going to lose that battle. But you got to come with solutions. I am here not asking the question, why am I here? But asking the question, I am here, why? And I moved from my passion into my purpose. And then my purpose became my passion. It became what I spoke passionately about. It became what I share with people passionately. And now guess what's happening? More and more and more people are coming to me. I'm drawing more people in because of the CDC. My commitment, my discipline, and my courage to keep going. When people are living on the surface and they're seeing things that they want to do and desire to do, and they're giving up because they're looking outside. But they look at me and they see he's someone living with a sound mind, living inside of himself. And they're looking, but what they're really looking at on the surface level, they're looking at my commitment, my discipline, and my courage. The courage to keep going in this, the courage to keep doing this, the courage to keep at this, the courage. Why? Because I'm passionate about it. It's my purpose. My purpose turned into my passion. I know a lot of people say, make your passion your purpose. No, make your purpose your passion. Make your purpose what you speak passionately about, how you live passionately in, how you serve passionately with, serving passionately. When I go and cook on Fridays, every Friday I cook for people. When I go and cook, I cook with passion. When I speak now, I speak with passion because I'm speaking from my purpose. When I cook, I cook with passion because I'm living from my purpose. It's all going back to your purpose. But your purpose has to have a structure for you to buy into, to believe in, to wake up with, to go to sleep with. Your purpose has to be your passion. Not your passion, making your passion your purpose. If you go with your passion and there's no purpose behind it, beloved, you're going to be a wandering, like Zig Ziglar say, a wandering statistic. A wandering generality. Zig Ziglar say, are you a something statistic or a wandering generality? And a lot of people become a wandering generality because they wake up with a passion, but it's not tied into a purpose. If you want to live a life of health, to be on the road to a life of health, you got to live with a purpose. Tie yourself into that first. Tie yourself into your purpose first, and then you will live that out passionately. It will open doors because people will see your commitment to it, your discipline to it, and your courage to keep going at it. Keep going in it. Keep going with it. Keep sticking to it. People will see that. And they'll say, every time he shows up, boy, that's all he talk about. You don't know me, but nothing else. You only know me for talking only about living holistically. You don't know me for speaking about nothing else. All I study is how to live holistically. Energy medicine. The future of nutrition. I got more books that I just bought at the house. I have been on a book buying rampage and still buying more because I'm passionate about my purpose. And I wake up, and that's why when I found myself at Barnes & Noble standing in that section of natural healing and health and wellness, I asked myself that question randomly. Why am I here? And I had no answer for it. But when I turned it around and said, I am here, why? I said, oh, because I'm a healer. I'm a spiritual healer. That's why I'm here. And it's only right that I'm there because inside of me, it's my purpose. That's my purpose. I didn't just walk over there to it. Me living in myself as my purpose put me in front of those books as they do all the time. As they do all the time. What you are, you're going to be drawn to. And I'm going to say this again. What you are, you're going to be drawn to, and what you feed lives. What you feed lives. What you feed lives, beloved. I used to have an acronym for the word feed. I used to have an acronym for the word feed, FEED. And I used to say, focus energy eliminates distraction. That used to be my acronym for the word feed. Focus energy eliminates distraction. When you focus your energy, beloved, you won't find yourself anywhere else but in the aisles of what your purpose is. You won't find yourself looking at other books on other topics. You won't find yourself being a wandering generality. You walk into the bookstore and you're all over the bookstore, looking at all kinds, looking in all the categories. You're in every aisle. When I'm in the bookstore, I'm spiritually, mentally, emotionally, more so emotionally. I'm emotionally drawn to the categories of natural healing and health and wellness. I'm drawn to it because focused energy eliminates distraction. When I focus my energy on my purpose, I don't find myself distracted looking in the aisles of other type of books, other categories of books, other topics of books, other subjects, because my energy is focused. There's a structure around that. There's a structure around that that lives within me. It's called the 5 laws of holistics. So my energy is focused. And I find myself at the books. If you look at my library, you're only going to find books on the mind, books on bioenergetics. You're going to find books on biology. You're going to find books on nutrition. You're going to find books on meditation. You're going to find books on fitness. You're going to find books on empowering oneself. What I would use biographies for. Certain biographies. So I read biographies because it's about self-empowerment. I read, Nelson Mandela, Conversations with Myself. Ali, A Life. His book called A Life. Mike Tyson's book, Undisputed. When I look into these books, beloved, when I read biographies, I'm reading books of self-empowerment. That's the arts. That's the arts. When you're empowering yourself to continue to fight like Muhammad Ali did, to continue to fight like Mike Tyson did, even though Mike Tyson has a wild story about his life. People coming in his life, taking advantage of it, robbing him of his money. But he could have gave up, but he kept going through. Because he, like I, understand the purpose. He understands the purpose. He understands his purpose. He understands his purpose. Now when you go to Mike Tyson's podcast, Hot Boxing, I would recommend you watch. Listen, Hot Boxing. 99% of the time when I'm watching Hot Boxing, Mike Tyson interviewing somebody, but he's always the one dropping the jewels. He's always the one dropping the gems. He's always the one dropping the knowledge. Because his life has purpose now. You see what I'm saying? He elevated himself from his platform of boxing, something he was passionate about, and moved into his purpose. You understand? So go from your passion to your purpose. You see Mike Tyson now, he's living his purpose. And it's never too late. That's another thing too. It's never too late to live your purpose. Mike Tyson didn't get started into, I would say, spirituality, because remember, Mike Tyson was a member of the Nation of Islam. Mike Tyson was a Muslim and still is a devout Muslim. Mike Tyson still is a devout Muslim. He still is a Muslim. But his Muslim Belief doesn't affect not passion, but turn that purpose into your passion. Peace.